Hello and welcome to Soli Luna Inspirations. Today we have a bit of a new different setup as we go indoors, and we're excited to dive into the Virgo New Moon coming up.
And desperate time needs desperate measures, so we got the big bonfire smudge here.
Yeah, clear in the air.
We got rose petals, and we got amber, and we got frankincense, and here we go, massive smudge. Welcome, you guys. We're up to 850 subscribers. The last two videos did so good. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting us. We are doing the Virgo New Moon, and quite the new moon it is. So Venus turned direct yesterday, and Jupiter turned retrograde. How do you feel about the energies of the times, my dear?
It's been a lot for sure. I'm grateful for Virgo season. I really love Virgo season. That Venus Jupiter, I feel like there's, I think I said this last time, like a baton. It was like really a lot came out of that Venus retrograde for me, and for a lot of people I've seen, a lot of value shifts, and also a lot of recognizing where I wasn't meeting my needs and where I need to. And now with Jupiter retrograde, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of reflecting on how to expand better in life. Yeah.
Let's go to let's do the.
I feel like it ramble, but we did put a little thing together for you, so let's stay a little focused. Organized as per the season.
Virgo New Moon, Thursday, September 14, 2023 at 6:40 p.m. The quest for redemption. What does that mean? The quest for redemption.
Quest for redemption. I hear you say that a lot in phrase to Neptune. I really love that. And I also see that as going on a quest to heal that which in ourself we may be hiding, or that is kind of eating us up from the inside, and to find some redeemment. Yeah. What would you say? Why do you say this phrase?
Well, redemption, well, I borrow it from Liz Green, who wrote a book about Neptune, the quest for redemption. Right. So I said that because we have Sun, Moon, and Virgo, the Sun, and then exactly opposite, we have Neptune. Earth, yes. Neptune. So then the new moon is in opposition to Neptune. And then we have the Virgo Pisces axis being triggered by that opposition. And Virgo seeks to make everything in the material world perfect, so that it can transcend the material world. On the other hand, Neptune and Pisces seeks to just go up in smoke to the eternal world, so to redeem the soul. So the quest for redemption, the Virgo New Moon seeking to be really grounded in oneself, and Neptune and Pisces seeking to experience the bliss of redemption,
the death of the ego, in a way, like to leave oneself, if there are polarities,
Absolutely. I would say that it's a return to the safe container, or the embrace of the mother, right? Pisces is about returning to the embrace of the mother. Neptune is about going back to the eternal mother, to return into the embrace of the divine one, to go back to seek the paradise lost, to return to Eden. And so then, we hear, us having to be firmly grounded into the world, the Virgo, Sun and Moon in Virgo. And then on the other hand of that, we have this call for the redemptive spirit of transcendence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You were saying something really big about what's going on right now, and you were talking about Venus moving direct.
Hmm.
And, one of the things I've been doing a lot of reading, seems like when tensions run high, people call the astrologer. That seems to be. And so from how often people are requesting readings, I'm kind of understanding that it's difficult for a lot of people right now. And yes, we've been putting a lot of press on Venus retrograde and now Mercury retrograde. But a lot of what we're feeling, I think, is about this Neptune in Pisces in sextile to Pluto and in sextile to Jupiter, Uranus, forming that triad of transformation and that grand kite. So why don't we show the chart?
Yeah, I'll look easy on the visual here too for you.
You want to put that into full screen so we can see it a little bit better? So
Want to keep talking though?
Yep. So here you see the chart. So you have Sun and Moon in Virgo, and it's in a grand trine with Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto. So that's an Earth grand trine. What is an Earth grand trine?
Something you taught me about Earth grand trines, which makes perfect sense, is it's like the manifester. So Earth being about the practical reality and trines being harmonious and energies, it's like a really practical, motivational.
If you have a grand trine in your chart, that's a very big gift that you're given. Like an air grand trine, you have a facility with thought and, so you have a gift in the air element. You can compute information and you're very rationally oriented. If you have a grand trine in water sign, then your emotional capacity for feeling is divine and talent. This is an Earth grand trine. It's a super manifester. So so it requires that you walk your talk. Earth has to be in truth, it has to have integrity, and then manifest new reality out of the ground of that that honesty of spirit that requires that I be walking my talk. And so then that grand trine, we have Sun and Moon, we have Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto's just about to turn direct. And then that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. We've been talking a lot about that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Both planets have moved retrograde recently. And they will be traveling together for a little while. And then early next year, they'll be in an exact conjunction. So we're kind of building up over the next 6 months to a exact conjunction of Jupiter-Uranus in Taurus. And so this grand trine we'll see again this same time next year. It's so Pluto in Capricorn, there's a lot of power to manifest Capricorn, and Uranus, Jupiter in Taurus, it's very inspirational. There's some inspiration to transform our reality in the material world. So that's that grand trine. And then we wanted to look at what we've been calling the triad of transformation. And we're calling it creating new boundaries. And that's really what it feels like, right? So you got Pluto up on the top in a trine to Jupiter-Uranus. And Jupiter-Uranus is in sextile to Neptune. And Neptune is in sextile to Pluto. So that's 260 and 120. Engage with the grand kite, with the grand trine, forming a grand kite. With the moon sun conjunction as the guiding point of the grand kite, and Neptune, the quest for redemption, as the tip of the arrow or the tip of the grand kite. So then this new moon, to me, really puts into focus what this Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto triad of transformation means in her collective. How does that feel?
Good. I really resonate. I think that's definitely on point with what's coming ahead. And I feel like the Jupiter to me has been really, as it's been close to Uranus, there's been noticing in the collective more awareness and a little bit more intensity around the challenges of our times right now. I think that summer fun state, although it was seemingly a bit more of a serious summer for a lot of people, not just me, despite my Saturn return, is yeah, Jupiter bringing light and awareness to this triad of transformation, which will be going through a massive shift in 2025. I think there's a lot of awareness on what needs to shift within us and what structures and what collective aims and goals we're putting. Like if this Neptune is the tip of the arrow in Pisces, how do we want to be working in the world? How do we want to work together? And I think that
what new realities we want to create.
Yeah,
because this is really about creating new realities.
And we need to, because this one isn't working for so many.
It's definitely not working. You know, in my work with people and in the recent couple of weeks there, and I think we talked about this in one of the previous videos, to me, it feels like this. It feels like we've been avoiding the crisis by pushing it back, by creating stopgap measures, covering the reality of the crisis we're facing, both individually and collectively, right? We are faced individually with a certain set of situation. If we gloss it over and dissociate and pretend it's not going, we're pushing it back. We're not dealing with it. When we push a crisis back, what happens?
It builds momentum to swing back.
It gets bigger.
Yeah.
It gets bigger. So collectively, we've been using stopgap measures for the last 15 years of pushing this economic crisis back and back and creating stopgap measures that only makes the crisis bigger. In our individual lives, we've been refusing to face some issues in our lives that are not working. And those issues have now become so big that we can't avoid them anymore. And so in that sense, the triad of transformation is encouraging a creation of new boundaries, you know, to be able to say, okay, this is not working. I got to deal with the crisis. But we've been pushing it back, and now it's gone to a point where it's so big and it's overwhelming. And also, the little Band-Aid cures don't work anymore. And so then we're coming to a time of reckoning, in a sense, you know, where only actions that are aligned with our inner purpose, where there is no pretension and no delusion, you know, because we can cover things up with dissociation. And in our society, we've mastered dissociation. We are the best at dissociating. We have every trick in the book to dissociate. But by dissociating, we're only making the problem worse. And at a particular point, we got to pay the fiddler. And so I think that that's what that Uranus, Neptune, Pluto in its big meeting is about. And we'll talk more about that because it's going to be culminating in 2021, in 2025, excuse me. And so we're not done talking about this. And does that make sense to you?
Definitely. I think I also feel really inspired to share the flip side of that, where there is a piece of, I think, myself and our collective for sure that have been doing that. And there's also a piece of, there has been a huge population of people trying to do the work. And if you're watching this, you've probably been doing that in your life too, because you're probably trying to find where your edge of your next level of work is, or what you're trying to integrate next. And this massive grand trine in the earth signs I think there's also a flip side of there's going to be some celebration or maybe manifesting some new structures or new values or new just gifts that are going to come to you now because of the work that you have done. And despite the work that still needs to get done and the band-aids that are falling off, not working, there's also a flip side to that where there's, I think, going to be blessings that come from this grand trine, but also from the work that you have done, and that'll hopefully propel myself and you and all of us to continue doing the work and to see that there's big changes to come. So we have to keep showing up.
And, you know, one of my favorite sayings is breakdowns lead to breakthroughs. And so sometimes, you know, a breakdown is exactly what I need to get me going. And so if you're going through a breakdown at that time, it's just so that you can invite this new creation by facing the crisis that's been building. If you've been dealing with the crisis, now your process is starting to get momentum, and you can channel this grand kind, and you can channel this grand trine for inspiration into becoming the change that you want to see in the world. And really, that's it. If you're hitting a wall and you're having a crisis, it's time to make the changes. It's time to get to the other side of the rebirth process. And if you've made the alchemical rebirth, then it's time to build on it and to create new realities and to support those around you that are showing up for you in this process. You know, I mean, in my discussions, you know, it's like we're all craving community and sticking together. Well, it's getting to the point where we cannot survive without that sense of community. We cannot really survive these times unless we learn to cooperate. You know, one of the things that we learned in the Great Depression, you know, so 1928 to 1933 or something like that, the Great Depression was, you know, it was so difficult. And the communities that thrived in those times were the communities that were united. They supported each other and they thrived. And they came out of the Great Depression empowered communities, and they were set for the great period of growth that came afterwards. And so we're in the same way. And so aligning our tribe together, coming together with those who think the way you are, and putting some effort into creating sustainable communities. That's the reality of our time. It's the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a card.
This Virgo New Moon, I think something we didn't touch on is that, whoa, maybe I should wait till I have the slide in front of me. I will. I'm going to say it's always fun to look at your chart when we go to those alchemical opportunities. Maybe now's a good time to pull out your chart while we pull a card. Oh, here, no, let's stick it. Let's stay with the camera so we can get the card.
Okay, so we've been kind of right on all the time. So let's see what the card says. Oh, the Six of Wands.
Virgo of Wands.
Six of Wands. The celebration entering into, you know, there's a wreath, the riding on a horse in a parade. So that's that super manifesting kind of Six of Wands. It's very inspirational. What do you think? What do you see? Of course, Carol's going to have a great, you know, if you watch our videos, you know that Carol in Florida, who does practical mystic, a great, hey Carol, a great video channel on the tarot. She always in the comments adds her insight. So we encourage you to read Carol's comments and actually comment or ask questions. Or like the video, or subscribe to the channel. That helps us grow. We really appreciate it. And it's the Six of Wands. It's a celebration. You know, we're coming to a very big step. We're reaching soon 1,000 subscribers. And so that's that Six of Wands.
What we've manifested so far and charging forward.
Woohoo! Okay, so let's review this, and then let's go to the important dates. So find your ground and be in service. That's the new moon in opposition to Neptune.
Earth grand trine, as we've been talking about.
Walk your talk and manifest new realities.
And the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction, which has been happening for a while, but they're dancing backwards together.
Inspired evolution.
And then the Triad transformation.
Creating new boundaries. That's our insight for today. And then important dates, alchemical opportunities for you. Today, September 6th, we have the Sun-Mercury conjunction. Did you experience combustion?
I feel like I felt that yesterday for my Sun and Mercury for sure. Had a few combustion moments.
I feel like that's been really
today,
combusting myself. Combusting, for those who don't know, is when a planet is within 1 degree of the sun, especially one of the smaller planets. It has tendency to get burnt up by the sun. So it makes communication, Mercury, very difficult, but also having a clear mind. And so it's passing. If you're watching this video, it's already passed, but that would explain the combustion of September 6th. Then the 14th, we have our Virgo new moon.
At 22 degrees of Virgo. Check your chart, see if anything's active for you.
And the day right after that, the 15th, Mercury goes direct. Big shift of energy.
And then September 19th, the sun is going to opposite Neptune at 26 degrees. So really illuminating that aspect of ourself and how to be of service.
You were saying about looking where your chart, you know, where your planets are. I have Venus at 26 degrees Pisces, you know, so that Neptune and Pisces and that sun, I'm liable to really feel that. And I'm feeling, because Neptune is stuck on 26 degrees Pisces for the next month. So then my Venus is crying for a safe container. Okay, September 22nd, big moment, fall equinox.
Yeah, shifting into the second half of the zodiac. That'll be a big shift. I'm excited for it though.
Libra ingress, big time.
September 24th, Mars is going to opposite Chiron. It's going to be interesting because Chiron is going to be in Aries, where Mars would be in exaltation, but then Mars is going to be kind of depressed in Libra, really focusing on our social life. Should be interesting.
Mars opposite Chiron for sure. The need for the healer warrior to manifest in full integrity. And then on the 29th, we have the Aries full moon at 6 degrees of Libra.
And we will have another video for that when that's ready.
And we have a couple more videos to do that. And then you have, so how does that feel? I think we've been pretty thorough about this. Tell us about some medicines that we can take advantage of.
Sure. Okay. So Virgo, jumping ahead there. Reading this got me ahead. Virgo rules our solar plexus. That's our power center. And also, our third chakra, if you're not familiar. It also rules in our body, the liver, the small intestines, and both those things have an affinity for the skin. So this is how we communicate. So our liver is taking in all this information and communicating it within ourselves, which is Virgo is ruled by Mercury. There's a lot of communication aspects here, but it's about the communicating within the self, because it's much more contained than the Gemini communicating to everything out. So really noticing these aspects of yourself. If your liver, digestion, skin need more attention, maybe you've been indulging a lot this summer and there's a little need for a cleanse. This is a great time to do a cleanse in Virgo season. Also that self-care piece. So washing your face, massaging your skin, eating foods that are easier to digest and taking a weight off the digestion can be really supportive. In the tissue salts, the Virgo tissue salt is kali sulf or potassium sulfate. This salt is in every human body. We all need it. If you don't have enough of it, you can start seeing issues in the body like having scaly skin or pimples, dandruff, or chickenpox even. So again, these are things showing that there's stagnation and slowness in digestion, liver, and skin. Can also look like having yellow in the mucus, so maybe you're coughing up some stuff, or sluggish digestion. So if these symptoms show up, then I would maybe look into getting some Kali salt in your life. And then herbs that support the Virgo aspects are skullcap for the nervous system, fennel, dill, endive, and licorice. All of these things, again, are supporting digestion, but also our liver. Really good time to take care of our liver and guts before we go into the cooler times of our year. Yeah.
I was talking to my acupuncturist, talking about the liver and how the liver is where we process the long-range plans of our lives. And how in the liver we look at our destiny in a way, you know, so then the supporting of the liver function helps the digestion. You know, when we can't digest something, that's because we haven't figured out what it means in the long range of our lives, right? So then supporting, and so I don't know if that fits in, but having bitters, and taking bitters and stimulating your liver function and helping you digest life so that you can see how everything that happens in your life actually feeds the master plan of your destiny. I call that being at the right place at the right time. You know, to have that sense that I'm at the right place at the right time, to know
that core power again, right? Back into the solar plexus, it's like listening to your core.
And is there anything that feels worse than not being at the right place at the right time, to always feel like you're either late or too soon or that you missed the boat altogether? You know, those dreams that you have where you just come to I have this recurring dream where I'm coming into the plane and I don't have my passport and they won't let me in. Oh, yikes. So being at the right place at the right time, that's the essence of magic. Thanks for supporting our channel and supporting us, and thank you for showing up today. It's always magical to work with you. I hope you like our new set. It's the fall set. It's fall colors, and we'll catch you soon.
Bye for now.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.